वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूणमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। Well, today we will sing from 30. We were on what, 46th slok, right? Neil? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So we will sing from 35 to 46. So slok number 35. Everybody? What page number 35? Avika did a good job on the page number. So.
Right here.
What is the page number?
109. 98. Just 35.
35.
Page 98. 98.
Yes, Raja?
Just go to page 98.
That's okay. You want to first sing the slok and go run after that and get it? Okay. So first let's sing the song, the sloks. Okay. Are you ready? 35. It's page number what you say?
98.
98. 98 page number.
Wait, 98 is different.
Page number 98. No. Page number not 30.
You're on the wrong
number.
chapter.
Page number 98. You know which one?
Yeah, 45.
That,
Okay. And the warrior chiefs. Wait, page 98.
no. Chapter 2.
What? Yeah.
That is chapter 1 or chapter 2?
You're on the
That is 35. Yes, I did. Huh?
Can I throw something?
Yeah, I can put it here. Okay. Guys, seriously? Okay. 35. Start. Krishna, you want to initiate? द्रोणादुपरक्तं मत्स्यन्ते त्वं महारथ येषां च त्वं बहुमातो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाश्चर्वादाश्च बहु वन्दिष्यन्ति तवाहिता निन्दास्तव्यसामर्थ तत्तो दुःखान्तरन्नुतिं हतो. Guys, unmute me guys so I can hear you too. जित्वा वासुश्रीमहिं तस्मादुष्टकौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चय सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभो जयाजयो ततो बुद्ध्यायुज्यस्व नैवं पापमावाप्स्यसि एषां ते विहिता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्वं शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वकल्पनस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् द्रव्यस्यात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्ध्या यो व्यवसायिनम् पुष्पता वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चित वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यस्दस्तीति वादिन कामात्मन स्वर्गपर जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगो स्वर्गगतिं प्रति भोगेश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तया प्रहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर्समाधो न विधीयते त्रैगुण्यस्य विषया वेदा नैस्त्रैगुण्याद्भवार्जुन अन्नो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो नियो वक्षेमात्मवान् यावानर्थ उपादये सर्वत्र सम्पुलौतके सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्रह्मणस्य विजानत. Okay, great day. Yeah, Raja?
I am unmuted and everybody is singing like kids here.
Oh, okay. That's a problem. We will solve that problem, I guess. By thinking about it. Let me figure out what we can do, okay? Okay. So, till now, what we studied last week was we started from Karma Yoga like 41 to 46. We finished last week. So, if just to summarize it, from 41 when God started talking about Karma Yoga, He started with first thing first. You have to have a highest goal in life, right? There will be many goals, but what you have to work towards is always has to be highest goal. And what is the highest goal? Out of all your goal, which is the noblest one, is the highest, right? So noblest one is the highest. So whenever you think about it, there might be too many. Oh, I need to get this pretty dress. That is your goal. Or you want to do something like short term to long term. There will be many goals. You know, my short term goal is I passed my 9th grade. That's a short term goal, right? So there will be so many goals, right? But whenever you think about your goal, you have to always keep in mind that all those short term goals should lead you to the highest goal. Right? So you have to think about that, right? So all your short term should be connected to this. If they are not connected to this, means your goals are wrong. Right? You're going in a wrong direction. That will give you indication of where to go, right? That was the first thing that we learned when he started from the Karma Yoga. The next thing we talk about was you don't measure your success on worldly measure. Like your success doesn't depend on worldly success, worldly measure. What it depends on, that did you go spiritual level to maintain your success. Like you cannot say, oh, I'm successful because I have a big house. That's a worldly measurement, right? I am successful because I have such a good job. That's again worldly measurement. Your success depend on how many people did you help. That's your success. If you can say I helped thousands of people, that would be more successful than getting $1,000 million in your bank account, right? So your success should never be measured with a worldly measurement, that how many houses you have, money, yes, how many things you have in your possession. That is not your success, right? So we learned about those two things here. Then we learned about what was was other things that we discussed was okay. So then we talk about religion, right? There are two kind of religion. One is God is for my life. The other kind of religion is my life is for God. You remember that differentiation? So there were two kind of religion that we talk about after that. One was that my life is for God. I will just put 4 up here. And the second one was God is for my life. What was this one and what was this one? Anybody remember? Anybody remember? Yeah. What was it? Do you remember? Yes, Svara.
Mass religion.
Mass religion, yeah. Mass religion was when God is making your life better. Like I'm asking God to make my life better. So God is for my life. That becomes like God is there to help me gain money. God is there to help me.
And then my life. So that one is spirituality.
You're right. So this one is spirituality, where it becomes like my life is for God.
So it's mass religion and then spirituality.
You got it, yeah. But first we have to go through this to get to this. That's what we discussed, right? First we have to go through God is for my life. When we start worshiping God and saying, hey, you are for my life, that's the basic religion. You have to go through this to get to my life is for God. Then it becomes spirituality. So we cannot jump directly to here to here. Some people can. Probably they might have done all these in their past life and the karmas are coming, the results are coming in this life. But most of us start from here and go to there, right? So this is what we discussed. Another thing in last class. Now, Slok 45 was too long, right? It's too many things that he discussed. He said there are 3 gunas. Gunas means characteristics, right? 3 gunas. Do you remember what were 3 gunas? Okay, you go first.
There was like one that was like lazy. I don't know the Indian name, but I know the kind of quality.
What was it?
Lazy.
Lazy.
Yeah, and then the third one was like good.
And
the second one. The second one is Ramsey, right?
Yeah. What is tamsik? Tamsik is laziness, ignorance. Yes.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
Rajasic.
Rajasic.
What are the characteristics for?
What's the characteristics of living entity?
Everyone has these 3 characteristics in them. But
Rajasic.
different amounts.
Rajasic is what?
Passion.
Passion. Yeah. What is then last one?
Goodness, I guess.
Goodness, yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. Goodness, right? So we discussed that. So just to clarify one more time to these characteristics. Everybody has this, right? Everybody has. Some will have something more than other, or some will have just one kind of characteristic, not others. It depends on. It's a mix of everything, right? So it will be so many different ratio in every single person. Yes, Raja.
So how it is Ramsik is still on mass religion, and Ramsik is in the middle, and Sadvik is about to reach spirituality.
You got it. You are wonderful. So let me tell you a quick story. I told you another story last time, but let me tell you another robber story. You remember? Yes. Okay. So I will tell you there were 3 friends. They were, again, we have to always take 3 people in this story because we have to differentiate 3 behaviors for them. So there are 3 people in the village, and the village there was not too much to do in the village because the land was not too fertile. They couldn't grow. Ansh and Dhruv, is anything funny happening there?
No, the couch just keeps moving.
Moving, so don't take the back for a minute. Come out of that thing. Okay. So put your back straight. These girls are sitting forever straight, right? Why do you have to Little guys are saying I just make a one comment, it bugs on all big conversation then. Okay guys. Shh. So then what happened, these three guys did not have much to do in village, so they said, okay, let's go out to town to get some jobs. So they started walking because they did not have money to pay, so they started walking. They took food and water with them while they were going, but then after a little while, their food was finished, their water was finished, there was nothing there to eat or drink. So they were tired, they sat down under the tree and they started resting. So when they were resting, one of the guys saw a mango tree that was there a little bit far from them, but he saw a mango and he saw a lot of mangoes hanging on there. So he said, okay, mango will help us with food and water both. So how about we eat mango? So the first person, he said, okay, you go check. So one of their friends got up and went and checked the mango. So he was, yes.
How does the mango help with the water?
Because the fruit, the juice.
Yeah.
The juice part of mango, right? So
So
then what happened is the first guy goes, he looks at the mango tree, he said, oh wow, it's such a big mango tree, when I needed it, it was there. Thank God for having this mango tree here. I thank you, God, for having this mango tree here. And then he said, okay, let me pick some mangoes and eat it. But then he said, oh, you know what? There are so many mangoes on the floor. Let me eat the mangoes that are already on floor rather than picking, because if I pick a mango, the whole life of mango is not like, they are not ripe. They haven't lived their whole life. So let the mango stay on the tree, and whatever on the floor, let me go eat it. And after he ate, he said, oh my God, you know what? Let me have these seeds and put it in the soil, so when the rain comes there will be new mangoes, because I cannot return anything back to this mango tree. He helped me when I needed food, so thank you for helping me, mango tree, but I cannot do anything, so let me put these seeds in the field and grow another mango tree. So hopefully all these seeds that I ate today, mango, they will change into a tree. And that's how he wished, and he left and he went to his friends and went and lay down there. So then he said, the mangoes are really good, you should go try it. So the other friend got up and he said, okay, let me go try it then. So he went and he looked at the tree and he said, oh my God, this is such a good mangoes. Everywhere there is mangoes and mangoes. Look, I can pick a lot of mangoes and sell them, so that, I can earn some money. I can take these mangoes. And what about I cut some branches of it, sell wood also. I will get a lot of money out of this wood too. So let me pick all the mangoes and cut some trees, get some wood and take it to the town, and I will get some money, right?
Is that good or bad?
That's what happened too, right?
That's hard to see. That's
So-
hard to see.
Okay, so then he went back with mangoes and trunk and he sat down, and then the last guy came in and he said, okay, let me try too. And when he came, he saw the mango tree. He said, first of all, let me eat all the mangoes, whatever are there, how many I can eat,
That's
right? And then he said, you know what, that if I cut the tree and drop the tree down, I kill them. But first of all, when he started eating it, he actually did not look on the bottom that how many mangoes were already on the floor. He started picking the mangoes, but when he ate it, the closest one was, whatever the mango was the closest one, he picked it and he ate it, and it was sour. And as soon as he saw sour, he got into anger. He's like, I don't want this kind of mango. They are so bad. This tree is so bad. Who made my taste bad? Let me cut it all. So he started cutting the tree and throw it away. He got into such an anger and frustration that why these mangoes are so bad, right? I don't want this kind of mangoes. Let me forget about these mangoes and let this tree die, because he made my mouth so sour. I don't like that, right? So now you can understand the three different kind of people that they were. So let's start with the number one. What kind of person that was?
Satvik.
Sattvic. What was the second kind of person?
Rajasic.
That's it. And what was the third one?
Tamasic.
Okay. So when you feel anger, frustration on some things, you always watch out that what characteristics are you showing? When Tam said when you are upset, did you hear my question?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said when you are frustrated and you are showing anger.
Good. For sure. Good.
Wait, but you.
Guna.
No, tamsic is ignorance and laziness. Laziness and
Oh wait, I
ignorance.
wrote this wrong. Wait, what? No, you read it right. No, I'm confused.
you?
Just the topic is ignorance.
Ignorance.
I can't read. That's all you said. Oh, whatever.
Now you got it, guys? So remember, because in whole Gita it's going to keep coming. And at this point, do you think you can figure out that what kind of person you are? You know, wherever I ask somebody, they always say that we might be this and this. Nobody picks up this part. They always say they are mixer of Rajasic and Sattvic. But
Not
remember,
toxic.
no. You know what you guys do? Take this to your parents and ask them. They will give you the truth. They will tell you the truth on this one. Right?
100%.
So Krishna Bhagavan talk about this. What did Krishna Bhagavan told Arjun? Go beyond these three. Right now we are not saying it. He gave him two things. He said, stay. Buddy, would you listen, Raja? Would you listen? No talking, right? So look at this. So Krishna Bhagavan in this 45 shlok, he says, stay as much as possible in Sattvic stage, right? And beyond this, if it is possible, actually don't go beyond these three. And we're going to talk about that. Why is he saying to go beyond Sattvic also? Sattvic is goodness, right? Krishna Bhagavan is saying going beyond all these three guna. Why he's saying that? What we're going to discuss later. Because there are shlok explaining that part too, right? But right now you just think about it. In 45 he says these are three gunas. He did not explain the guna. He says these are the gunas in everybody. I want you to stay as much as possible in Sattvic or go beyond these three. Right? So that's what he was explaining. Yes, Raja?
So the Rajasic, that means passionate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get like why they mean it like passionate. I don't know why they said it was passionate because I don't understand.
So, you know, this is, you are right. They say passionate, but then passionate about worldly desires. You know, worldly stuff. Passionate about God will be good. It will move you to Sattvic. But when you are passionate about worldly stuff, then it's not good.
So like
So
passionate about money?
yeah.
So in the story, the guy who's Rajasic was like, I can sell the Trump.
Yes.
And
You got it.
Tamasic was like to cut all of the stuff.
Yes, that's true. Right? So so Krishna Bhagavan talk about that. Then he talk about also not having possession or acquisition and preservation of material world. He talk about that too, right? So don't focus on acquiring a lot of stuff, right? People here have like the whole closet full of clothes, then some in the bags upstairs and some folded somewhere, so much jewelries they have, and or so much books they have, and even if it doesn't fit in the house, where does it go next? In the garage. No. In the garage. And then if it goes in trash can, it's good, but it doesn't, right? We keep getting more and more. And then it keeps going to the storage place, right? So we acquire so many things in this time, right? And then not just acquire, we actually preserve them. That this is my things that I'm going to preserve day after day. So God is saying go beyond those things. Rise above those things. Don't stick to those things, right? So that was our shlok 45. 46 is just a glimpse of how enlightened person thinks about these all literature. we will not go deeper into it because we are not enlightened yet. So what we're going to talk about just a little bit what he says. All these Vedas that are there, they're just a small reservoir for enlightened person, because enlightened person have so much water around himself. So he just metaphor or put an analog of this thing that, hey, when you have water all along your side, will you go to a small well that is about a mile away? No. You will not, because everything is around you. Why would you walk all the way there to get something? So if the enlightened person, all these books like Gita and Vedas, all them are like a small reservoir because they have water or they have knowledge and Brahman all around them. So they don't need those Vedas to read it. Right? Yes?
About 46.
Yeah, we already talked about 46. This is the 46 what I'm saying.
So we're doing 47.
We are doing 46. Okay, so you guys got it? Yes, Raja. What is Tamasic? What? Me? Tamasic is ignorance or laziness. Rajasic is passion. And then Sattvic is goodness. Okay? You got it, guys? Krish and Darshu, I cannot believe you guys can talk that much.
Yeah.
We're not even talking. We haven't said a single word.
But you are
They're talking. They're talking. They're talking.
Okay, guys. Okay, chalo, come on. Let's go to slok number 47. You guys ready? 47. Neil, you ready, Raja? So, listen to this slok. If you guys have heard this slok before, raise your hand after the slok, okay? Because a lot of people, you guys would have heard this slok. This is a central teaching of Karma Yoga. When we talk about Karma Yoga, this is really good slok about Karma Yoga. So, pay attention to this one. Come on. You ready? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur mate sangosta karmani. Together. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhu ma te sangosta karmani. How many of you guys have heard this before? If you guys have watched Mahabharata TV show, have you heard that? Right? Yeah. Sana, you heard it, right? You remember it? No. Okay, anybody who watched Mahabharata, because it starts with this slok. That show always starts with this slok.
Does it start with the time, dude?
Yeah, but before time, yes? What happened, Karnu?
I watch Mahabharata all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, does the slok come in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember next time, okay, when you watch it and see if the slok comes on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I might watch it next weekend.
Okay. Remember to pay attention to this slok, okay? Okay, guys. So there is a lot to say about this slok. So guys, pay attention very much, because you know what? Krishna Bhagavan said about 4 different yogas, right? I already talked to you about it. Karma Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, what was it? Dhyan, Karma, Gyan, and last one, Bhakti, right? 4 yogas he talked about in this. Can Arjun, practically looking at it, can Arjun do Dhyan Yoga in the middle of the battlefield?
No.
Can Arjun? No, don't laugh at it. Don't laugh, because there is a serious thing into it. Can Arjun do Bhakti Yoga in middle of the battlefield?
No.
Can Arjun Can Arjun do like a Gyan Yoga, listen to like how everything is Brahman, then he will say, okay, I'm leaving. Everything is Brahman. Right? So what he could do was the only yoga that he could use that time was Karma Yoga. Right? Now look at our life. Look at our life. Can we do all the other yogas if we don't do Karma Yoga? We do a lot of action. So if we practically, this is the only the yoga that we should be doing is the Karma Yoga. So listen to this very carefully because this is in our everyday life. We want to make spirituality in our all the actions, right? That's what we want to bring. So this shlok is the central teaching of our Karma Yoga. Okay? Krish, you were saying something?
Can he do Bhakti Yoga during the war?
He can.
Then why did everyone say no?
No.
The only one who said no. Devotion. Bhakti Yoga is devotion.
You know what?
can't meditate in the middle of
No, but
Yeah, but
the
devotion's
worship
not
is
meditation. Meditation's Dhyana Yoga.
no worship is listen,
Just
guys.
praying for God. You put devotion into everything.
Rob, you're praying for my life.
Not like just praying to God. It's like just basically God's in front of him right now, and he's
So worshiping. Listen, I think probably your worshiping meaning is doing prayers, right? Or sitting in front of God and doing diya and arti and all those things.
Material prayer.
Material prayer. It's worship is not worship meaning is not just doing those. Worshipping, you will find it in Karma Yoga too. When you devote all your action, even getting up in the morning is devotion, is a worship to God. When you say, thank you God for waking me up and giving me all my memories back. Thank you God. That's a worship. When you eat food, you say, thank you God for the food that you provided me. That's a worship, right?
You can't do any other any other of like dhyan or karma without bhakti.
Without bhakti, right? That's why I always say that all these three goes along with bhakti. You cannot separate them out, right? Bhakti is always there. If you don't have a faith and bhakti in God, then all the other things will not be able to, you cannot do other things too. So let's talk about this. There are actually 10 observations that I will talk to you about with this shlok, right? So there are 10 observations that you need to think about it. So in this shlok, what 4 things God said? So this is 47th shlok, right? The first thing he said that you have right to do action. So what is it? Right to do action. Right? The second thing he says that you have no right on the results of action.
What?
Right? Third thing he says that do not do an action thinking about results. So do not do action thinking about results. Thinking about results. The fourth thing he says that do not give up action because you don't have control on results. So do not give up actions because of this, because you don't have control on the results. Got it?
Yeah.
So 4 things are there, right? Remember this shlok. First thing is you have right to do actions. You don't have right on the results. Third thing is, you do not do action thinking about results. And then fourth thing is, don't give up action because you think that results are not in your hand. You got it? Okay, now 10 observations. Everybody got this part right? So there are 4 points will be made by this shlok. The first thing, there are 2 things he is talking. One is what? Action, and what is the other thing? Results. So there are 2 things that he is talking in this whole shlok. Action and result. Now everybody already am aware in this class about law of karma, right? Everybody remember law of karma? What was it? Yeah.
The thing that Chris said.
Good karma what?
Good karma.
Second like good karma,
Do good. Good merit.
good merit, yeah, whatever.
There's more.
Bad leads to bad and good
Just in general.
Okay.
Good karma leads to good.
Fourth one that don't give up the actions. Okay. So good karma leads to good merit. Merit leads to happiness.
Happiness. And then bad
Yes.
karma.
Can you repeat that?
Okay.
Good
Good
merit leads to
good action. Good, what was it? B? Good action. Because we are talking action a lot, so I will use word action here.
Good action leads to good merit leads to
Good merit is always good. Merit is
Do
good.
your Mendy.
Because you get money.
Merit is good always, Raja. Demerit is bad. Merit is not
They're
bad.
forced.
Okay. Good action. Good action leads to merit. Merit leads to happiness.
Happy now.
Right? You got it? Everybody got it? Now, if I tell it in Hindi, it will be dharma leads to punya. Punya leads to sukha. Happiness, right? So, dharma.
Dharma leads to
What is that? What is that? Okay, yes. Law. L-A-W. Law.
Of karma.
You got it. Okay. Okay, you got it? And then the same way, bad action leads to demerit, leads to suffering.
Sad happiness.
If I say it in Hindi,
happiness.
bad action, demerit. Demerit. That's opposite of merit, demerit. Now let's go on. Move on. Too many things to cover, guys. This also you got it, right?
What's the opposite of happiness?
Sad, separate. Thank you. Yes, sir. Happiness. And then if I say it in Hindi, then it's gonna be adharma leads to papa. Pap leads to dukkha. Good job. You got it? Okay, I'm not writing the bad part. You got it, right? Okay. So this we already know. Like there is a cause and there is a effect, right? You do bad, you do get bad thing, right? Aarti. Okay. So bad. Right, so we know that all the causes have this effect. Whatever we are getting could be are the results of our past karma, right? So that's the law of karma that always stays. And every religion has this standard format, right? Any religion you pick, every religion will say exactly the same thing, that you do good deeds, your good things will happen with you, right? In every religion it has been said. Now if you talk about this, that makes that we have a free will. What do we have? Free will.
Free will.
We have free will, right? To do what?
Oh my god.
We have free will to do what?
Oh my god.
We have free will to do what? Guys, answer me. Free will to do what? Action.
Is that
Right?
an observation?
Yeah, this is first observation. We are still at the first observation.
There's 10?
There are 10.
Wait, the law of karma is the
First one, yeah. And you can put law of karma, free will / free will. So you will know that this is the first one. And next time, bring a notebook and pen.
Yeah, sorry.
So that you guys can, yeah. But it's going to be good to write these things so you will get it, right? So now, yes, Raja. Go in that bathroom. The flush is a little tricky here. Pull it. Okay, you guys got it? So here is the thing, guys. Listen. Now listen to this. Free will. Like, I will have to separate you guys if you guys gonna keep commenting on each other's work. Okay.
They've been talking the whole class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Krish,
I'm just saying.
I will see them.
You were talking too.
No,
I haven't talked at all. Actually, Sean, you talk the most. Yeah.
Okay, can we talk?
I'm not talking, I'm just laughing.
Okay, listen. So then what happened, guys? Darshan, look at me. Okay, so what happens is when you have a free will, so in all the laws, it's been said that we have free will to do. So action, you have free will, but do you have a free will on results? No. Right? Now look at this thing, that when you talk about having a free will, so if somebody makes you do something on let's say a guy make you do something on like I will kill you if you don't do it, right? Then if you do wrong thing, are you responsible to do that thing?
No.
Because you did not have free will, right? So who will be the responsible to get that thing? The killer who was asking you to do this thing. So the free will is being given to every single person in this thing. So the second observation is that only human in this entire world have a free will. If you are born as an animal, do you have a free will?
No.
Right? So only first is law of karma, second is only human have free will.
Unless it's a killer.
Right? So listen it to that. That's why when we are born as a human, it becomes so important for us to live this life the right way. Right? Because animal will get also their karma. Their action and their karma is still there, but they don't have a free will.
Wait, so if we kill a bug in the next life, we're gonna become a bug.
Yeah, not bug, but you will, yeah, it's been, yes, Raja.
It's what it says in the Gita. In one of the pictures, it shows that.
Right, the karma.
This one.
Yes. Okay, so guys, what happened is animal life doesn't have a free will. So human has a free will. That's why your life is so important. Remember this. Any decision that you make is so important because you got a human life and you had a free will. You can do the action right or you can do wrong actions too. So every decision that you make is very important for you guys because you are a human. Animal takes decision on instinct, right? They don't think about anything, right? They just make the decision and they do go with it. So that's why they don't have even free will to take action, right? So second observation is that. Now let's come to the third one, right? Third one is that we talk about the human behavior, right? We talk about, let me actually go on the same one. Let's not make it, otherwise it's going to be 11 observations. So let's do, on the second one itself, we talk about these 3 gunas, right? We talk about these 3 gunas. When we talk about no action, what would be the no action guna? Like if I say no action, what characteristic does it shows? Tamasic, right? So the first one is no action. That's tamasic. If I say, you know what I mean, right? I'm not going to write it. The second one I said action, which is promoted by the desire. Rajasic, right? So second is action. Action with desire. The third one is action with no selfish motive. That would be sattvic. Sattvic, right? So now what happened? Look at it. No action is destruction, right? When you take no action, it's destruction. If you take action that is worldly desire, then what does it become? It bound you to the attachment grows, right? When you do with the desire, what happens? Desire comes, the attachment comes. If you have a desire to get something, then you get attachment to do those actions too. So attachment to the actions come when you have action with desire. When you have action without selfish desire, then what it does? It leads to not having a bondage with attachment with the action. So if you don't have a selfish desire, then it becomes no attachment. Remember that part too, right? So now let's go to the third observation. The third observation is, you know that some people will say, if I do an action, and if you say that there should be no desire in it, what happens? What is the motive to do any action, right? Then I will go and feel like I should not do anything, right? So what is the motive? So just remember these two words when it comes to that. There is an action with, action can go uninterested or disinterested. Now, uninterested, if you're uninterested means I don't care, right? So there are two kind of actions that you can do.
This is the third observation.
Yes.
How many observations are there? 10. Anna, you have so much space. Then
You can write disinterested, right? That the whole spelling goes similar. So uninterested and disinterested, right? Uninterested would be like, I don't care. Like, you know, if it is not, I don't care about this action because I don't want anything out of it. So you will be any action that will be uninterested, then you will be no action. You will go towards no action. Means that's bad, right? Disinterested means that whatever comes out of it, I don't have any interest in the result. I will do action, but I will not be interested in what is the answer, what is the outcome of that. That's good, right? So whenever you feel about motivation, when you do unselfish things, what happens is we don't worry about what results will come because there is no connection with the result, right? But
when you want to like better yourself, you want to see results. Like you're not doing any like bad action, and it's not like a bad motive.
yes, so that's why
you shouldn't be doing the work for the results.
Yeah, but then why would I work so hard if I don't like if I get like a 70 on a math test, I'm gonna work hard to better myself. And if I stay at a 70, then I'm gonna lose motivation to do it. So that's like I'm not disinterested, but it's not like a bad motive. So I'm not
getting
uninterested.
70 on a
I
test.
so like
yeah. So here is the thing, you know, there is a motive to your interest in working hard. What is the interest? What is the motive? Motive is to get better results, right? Better results is your motive. So that action will already give you, that's giving you a motive, and there is a motive and desire to get better results. So it will be there. So that's, you know, when you do a work without any motives, that's where these two comes into place. When you already have a motive to do it, there is nothing, you will go with that motive, right? But when you don't have a motive, like I have to go and help, like let's say you want to help your friend to get the points.
Oh, so like it's no self.
Yeah, there is nothing, you would say, okay, you know what, like Sonal auntie is not good at math and she's not getting any numbers, let me help her to get some points, so let me teach her. Then what happened in that, there was nothing that you will be gaining, right? Then you could be uninterested, you're like, well, why do I care if she's not good at math? Forget it, I don't want what she gets, right? But then you will be disinterested too. Like, whatever, let me help her out, right? Even if she doesn't get it, that's okay, but at least I did something for her. So then it becomes that, right? So when there is no motive and without selfish reason you do something, where does the motive comes from? Right? There will be no motive, right? Even if you don't teach me or help me, I'm still your friend. We are good friends. But now here what happens is you actually went above and beyond your thought process and say, let me help her.
Okay.
Right? So that's how there is the difference between that, right? Now let's go to the fourth observation. Was it a fourth or was it a fifth?
Fourth.
We are on fourth, okay. So the attitude, write the number of, fourth is attitude. So what happens in attitude, like whatever when I do this action, whether the good result comes or bad result comes, I should not be worried about it. Now you will say, why? That's not right? Whatever action do, I should get the good results, right? So when we talk about it, the happiness comes in the life and suffering comes in the life. Both will come, right? No matter what. Whatever action you do, nobody's life is always happy. Have you, I know you are very little to understand that part, but do you feel like even what people will see, the richest person in the world is who? Bill Gates. But they are also getting divorced. How can, they not be happy with each other?
Elon Musk.
Whatever. Right, so then, again, can I go with the example? Just the example. I know I said the richest man, but second richest or third richest.
You think he doesn't have problems?
Yeah, everybody comes with a problem, right? Tell me one person that you feel like, okay, this person has no suffering in the world. What did you say? Yeah, what did you say? Guys, I don't know why you guys start talking with each other. You talk to me.
No, my sister.
Okay, Raja, what were you saying? Yeah, were you saying something here? I know, Raja. Let's continue doing a little bit. Okay. So, guys, there will be suffering always right there, right? Now, what's your attitude should be when the results are not in your favor, when the results are unfavorable. So, there are three things that you have to think about it. First, very easy one, right? First thing, when you are going from suffering or bad things are happening and the results are not good, what your attitude should be. The first attitude should be, there are three different ways to answer that thing. First is, like, you know what? My bad karmas are going away because I'm suffering, right? Bad karma, I did it in past time or past life and I'm suffering. That's the result because the suffering is coming by?
Because of you were bad.
Because of the bad, right? Bad karma, right? So when you did the bad karma, you got the bad results and you are suffering right now with it, right? So your bad karma are eating up. So they are going away. So that's a good thing, right? When you are suffering because of all your bad karmas that you did, so this suffering is eating up all my bad karmas. So now good karmas will come, right? So the first attitude is that my bad karmas are dying off, right? What, Sana?
Well, if you get like a ton of bad karma,
Then like you live a different life and you don't remember anything. So why should that life that could be good?
Because your soul's still the same.
What? No. Let me listen to the whole question, guys. Shh, Parthi.
Like if you go to a different life, you don't remember anything. Like you might be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you were bad in the previous life.
Yeah.
So why should the last life affect you this life when it's like totally different?
Yeah.
Remember the arrow?
Remember the thing, the Prarabdha karma, and we talk about it, that it keep going. And you know this, we talk about, Krish, can I answer please? Okay, so then what happened? Neil, Raja, can we not do that? Please? Thank you. Guys, don't do it. Otherwise, you know, I will ask you guys to sit separate then.
He's checking my watch and he's laughing. I don't
Okay.
know why.
So guys, listen, Sunny. Beta, what happened is our consciousness keep traveling, right? It doesn't die. Our subtle body goes from one body to another body. It keeps going beyond. So what happens is whatever karma you did it in this life, it's going to keep going with you until it exhausts. You remember we talk about prarabdha karma and accumulated karma and all those things. So it keeps going with you. So even though we don't remember, but it is coming with us. It is with us in the subtle body, right? So then that's the first attitude, that thank God my bad karmas are dying off. So it's good for me, right? The remaining part will be good. The second attitude that we can do is that what? It's a warning that how much my karma, we should pay attention to our karma. It's very important, because if we don't pay attention to our karma, then the suffering will keep coming, right? So that gives you a warning that hey, I'm in suffering point right now because I did something wrong, right? So I have to watch out that I don't do bad things, because the suffering will keep coming again.
Wait, what if you do bad karma in this life, can you also be paying for it in this life?
Yeah, it could come, because there is no mathematical proof that it doesn't come in this life. It can come this life, or it can go to the next life too. Yes, we don't know. That's why the result, we don't have the, yeah, we don't have, right? We don't have the control on the results, right? That's why it doesn't come to us this time. But it's so important that whatever action we take next has to be good, right? Otherwise, what's going to happen is the suffering will come, right? Dhruv, were you saying something?
So, like, what, like, in our life, if, like, suffering or happiness, is it primarily influenced by the karma of our previous life, or, like, more like a collective?
Collective, all the lives. Yeah, but yeah, so it's a collective life. Like, let me do one more thing and then we will end it. So let me finish this one. The third thing is what we talk about. So first thing is that my karma is dying off, my bad karma is dying off. That attitude helps. The second part is it's warning that I should watch out all my karmas, so I don't generate this demerit and God to suffering. The third thing is, it's when the suffering comes, people do remember God. So then what happened is, I can keep remembering God if suffering comes to me more and more, right? So these three attitudes, if we take it, if the result doesn't go in favor of us, then we can keep thinking about this, so it makes a smooth ride from the suffering. You got that?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, so that I can, one is very short, so let me do that observation and then we will go. So the fifth one is having focus, right? We talk about this in slok number 1 also. What did we say? That it has to be 1 point clarity when we talk about the goal, 1 point clarity. So here when he said karmani is a singular word. When we do so many actions, why did Krishna Bhagavan only talk about one action? He did not say plural as actions. He did not mention actions. He mentioned action.
He only mentioned one action.
Yeah. So what does that mean? you do one action at a time by one pointed focus. That's what he's talking about. You cannot, when we talk about multiple, oh, this one is, this person does too many actions. What do you say, the multitasking part? Right? Right. So multitasking, what happens that? A person cannot be doing two action at one time. Nobody can do it. Nobody. Even if they are multitasking, they are thinking one time this action, the next second they are thinking about second action. They cannot do it. That's still your thoughts cannot be two. It switches fast between two actions. Guys, let me bring your focus back to the subject, please. Focus here. Okay. So you know what is common between us and Buddha or Einstein or Newton? What is common between all of us? Human and what else?
My IQ's the same.
All are silent.
We all do actions, very good. We all do actions, but what is common between? No, we are not saying what are difference. What do we have in common?
We all are scientists.
We all have 24 hours in the day. Right? We all have 24 hours in the day. What is the difference between them and us?
Their IQ.
No. How do we use those 24 hours? That's the difference. How they focus on their highest goal. And we don't focus on their highest goal. The difference, guys, please focus. What is the difference between them and us? Is this part.
Focus.
Focus on their highest goal. That's what the difference is between them and us. We both have 24 hours, but they focus on their highest goal, the way they focus it, that's the difference, right? So, we did 5 observation from that slok 47. So far, 5 more remaining. But this is the main slok, so we want to take a little bit time and understand every single part of it, because that's how we're going to make our action, our everyday action, a spiritual action, a spiritualized action, whatever we do, right? Good? Okay, let's close it. Vasudeva Sukam Devam Kamsacharunamardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Guys, you guys coming here is helping me the most, and I'm going to tell you I'm so appreciative of you guys coming, because I learn in this session. I learn more than you guys learn out of it. So thank you for coming, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.